Okay, so here are the rails. And here is our show.
Completely off. Completely gone today. What in the world? Derailed.
Yay, you're here. Welcome to the CK and GK podcast. Let's get going.
Five, 4, 3, Tuesday.
You are very creative with those. I am just like, hey, y'all.
I mean, I wish I was like more creative with my introductions to you as I am my Tuesdays.
Yeah. I mean, we all have certain things we're good at. I am good at telling everyone that we're really glad you're here. That's about it.
Thank you for coming. We're so glad you're here. We are so glad you're here during the holiday season, and it doesn't even matter which holiday you're celebrating. Like, we know that you are busy cooking and cleaning and decorating and buying things, and just I'm so thankful that I get to be part of that journey with you. So thank you for joining us this week on our 51st episode. So like now we're working our way to 100 people.
Gosh, that's crazy. Happy holidays, whatever you celebrate, may it be wonderful and joyous and as like low stress as it can possibly be. May your kids go to bed on time. Right. May you have lots of movie nights where you just chill and watch whatever makes you happy.
May all your plans be canceled.
Right. May you make many, many plans that bring you joy and then get just as excited when they all get canceled, because that's like the dream.
Now, welcome to CK and GK. With me tonight is one, and I don't know what my other 2 wishes will be. It's Caitlin.
Oh, you're so sweet. Mine's not as nice. And that's Jenny, who dreams of playing the cello in a large symphony orchestra. But bad luck always seems to follow her whenever she plays, just like Helen Chapel from Wings.
I would love to play the chapel, the cello.
You could play the chapel too,
but I'm
if you want
too
to.
busy running a lunch counter at a small airport on Nantucket.
Okay, can we talk about this? This girl, Helen Chapel. I don't know if y'all, meaning listeners, remember Wings, but I remember Wings. Okay, this woman had a Texas drawl, but grew up in Nantucket. Yeah, no. Like she spent like a little bit of her childhood in Texas and then like had a Texas drawl her whole life and lived on Nantucket. And then
she had the cutest little house though.
She did have a cute little house. And also just the worst luck when it came to that cello, right? Like everyone knew she wanted to play. There was that time that she like, oh God, what was it? Something about how she like sent her tape to the symphony and they were like super stoked and they wanted to have her, and then somehow the label fell off and they couldn't get in touch with her. Like all kinds of horrible things kept happening to this poor girl. One time she got married to the guy to like get him a green card, and then he wins the green card lottery, and then she finds out she's still married to him like years later when she's trying to marry what's his name. Like this poor girl had the worst luck, and I just feel like that sometimes could be you. So yes. I think it's appropriate.
Do you know that there was a crossover episode with last week you said I was Rebecca from Cheers. Like there was a crossover episode where Cliff and okay, I have to tell every one of our listeners right now.
Yes.
It is 5 minutes till 10 p.m. and my son just told me that he needs help eating his Fun Dip.
Oh my God. Lord help you.
Hashtag second kid.
He's 4. It's 9:55 and he needs help eating his Fun Dip. I love that little boy.
This is real. This is what parenting looks like. Sometimes.
Yep, it really does.
Anyway, I was going to talk about how Cliff and Norm were going fishing on Nantucket one time, and they like never left the Nantucket airport. but it was funny in the moment. Right now, what's funny is I am dealing with a 4-year-old who's eating Fun Dip at 5 minutes to 10. And I'm just like, all right, whatever. Here, let me help you get the stick out of the package.
Just to bring it all home again. Remember, first episode I introduced you, or I talked about Frasier. I didn't introduce you as anybody, really. I just said something about Frasier. I don't even remember what it was. But you did the I'm Frasier Crane thing. And then a couple episodes ago, I introduced you as Roz.
Which was probably one of my favorite ones ever.
Yeah, I liked that one too. Also, when the creators of Wings, this is the stupid stuff that you learn when you're looking these things up. But when the creators of Wings initially wrote that role of Helen Chappell, they wrote it for Perry Gilpin, who played Roz.
No.
Yeah. And then she couldn't accept it because she got a job on
That
Frasier.
is amazing.
So then they have her, so then they have her come in. She's in a couple of episodes. Or maybe just one of Wings.
That's crazy.
But
So
yeah.
funny. Wings was one of those shows that like John and I tried to watch all the way through, and then something happened and we got distracted.
But then you didn't miss it?
No, I mean, we just like never got back on that train. But I mean, we watched all the Frasiers, we watched all the Cheers. It only is natural for us to like stick with the Boston theme here.
I like that. Right now, I haven't gone back to any of those shows, but I would like to. I'd like to rewatch all the Frasiers because I really like that one. But right now, we're watching Wednesday, and that's making my heart happy. So that's where we're going to stick for a while.
Okay, so I've heard all kinds of great things about it. So maybe it's time for me to do
Yeah,
that.
it is not a children's
Oh, good to know.
show.
Good to know.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, Abigail is mature.
Yes.
I do not recommend having Abigail watch this show.
Oh, all right. Good to know.
Yeah. But it's like a dark comedy. Honestly, the actress, I forget her name, but the actress who plays Wednesday.
Christina Ricci.
No, actually, Christina Ricci is in it.
No, she's
Christina
not.
Ricci's in it.
That's
Yes, she is.
amazing. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Now
when
I'm
you
watching.
see her, you're like, oh my God, it's Christina Ricci. I thought that this actress who plays her was Aubrey Plaza because she looks, there's like that look about her that's got like that kind of dark,
Yeah.
as my son would say, smooky look. It's so cute. If anyone ever corrects him, I will throat punch you. Do not correct him. The word is smooky, not spooky, and don't fix it.
When you go to bed and you're cold, you put on a blanket. And we will not ever change it.
No, never. You can't change
And that
those.
thing that changes the channels is a Kermoke.
Yes, it is. Okay, now I know those words and I won't mess them up at your house. Okay. I won't. I'll learn them. Kermoke. Flank it. I'm into it. Got it. But yeah, it's a fun show to watch. Recommend.
Okay.
All right. What do you got going on for sports?
Okay, so I don't have a lot to say here besides I didn't love Aaron Judge. And now I kind of do. And even though I don't love the Yankees, like he turned down $400 million to go play for the Padres because he wants to stay in pinstripes.
Mm-hmm.
So he took only $360 million
Oh my God.
to stay in New York. 9 years, $360 million. Now he did turn down $400 million, but the slugger is staying in the city.
That means he's probably going to spend his whole career there because he's 30.
I think he just loves being a Yankee. And you know what? Like, I don't love the Yankees, but I got to tell you, like, you love them or you hate them. There is no, like, lukewarm water feeling towards the Yankees.
That's true.
So good for him for having some allegiance.
Yeah.
Let's just go with that.
I admire that. I'm into it.
And I don't hate him because he's a bad guy. He's a great
No, he's
guy.
a good
I
dude.
hate him
I just don't
'cause
like the Yankees.
He's a Yankees. Yeah.
Right. Like, I just am not a Yankees person. But the people on the team I can be in support of. I just don't care for the Yankees as a team. Anyway, normally, y'all know I'm a big soccer person. I would be talking about FIFA and I'd be talking about World Cup, and I realize it's been a while and I haven't done an update. In an effort to stay a little bit more evergreen with content that we're releasing here, I just want to say that congratulations are in order to Morocco, because even regardless of how the whole World Cup thing turned out, whatever, it doesn't matter to me. I was just super impressed that they knocked Spain out of the World Cup in penalty kicks. Like Morocco took out Spain. What?
Like
Crazy
Spain's
town.
good at soccer, right?
Like just a little, whatever.
Right. And there's like more people that live in Spain than in Morocco, right?
Like a little again. Also, I was pretty happy to see that Portugal benched Cristiano Ronaldo and they still won. They put in.
Right?
Yeah, that made me happy. So anyway, yay. So
all right.
Whatever, no matter what happens with that, Morocco can be proud. I loved it. It was great. All right, what else you got? Obsessions?
Okay, so these are obsessions, fine. So, our family, I don't want to say like celebrates Hanukkah, but like studies Hanukkah.
You guys honor, I would say you honor Hanukkah. Like you guys really appreciate
Hanukkah
it.
Is a really good way. Yes.
Yeah.
So my husband like comes from a Jewish family. He is not Jewish. We are not Jewish, but we like learn as much as we can about Jewish culture. And one of the ways that we do that is we always try and learn something about Hanukkah. We always try and eat Hanukkah foods. We do not do presents because we also celebrate Christmas. So we do Christmas presents, but we always like light candles and spend the 30-ish minutes that it takes for the candles to burn down without anything else on in the house, spending time with each other, honoring each other.
I love that so much.
That in itself, like, I don't even care what religion you practice or none. The idea of 30 minutes a night for 8 nights in a row of just connecting with each other, golden. That said, we do have some Christmas lists in our house. I have 2 children. These are their Christmas lists. My 4-year-old would like either A, a second bedroom, or B, a large pile of pillows.
Done.
Okay. And I did have to tell him, like, I don't know that Santa can like remodel our house.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. And then my 11-year-old Abby would like clearly Canadian, which you might remember from your past, is like sparkling water with a lot of sugar in it.
Mm-hmm,
Japanese melon soda, and maybe a gerbil. That's her quote. Clearly Canadian, Japanese melon, and maybe a gerbil.
Oh, goodness. I love your children so much. They're so random.
Right.
And they just make my heart happy. It's just so great. Okay. So I don't know if this has happened to you. I'm sure it has because your daughter is very tall and your son is also quite tall and kids just grow like weeds. So fall hit in Texas and like one day it was like 91 degrees and then the next day it dropped to like 56 and it just happened. Right. And we realized that all of Sam's pants were not long enough.
Right.
And he was walking around in like pedal pushers. It was not great. So I was like, all right, we got to get pants. So what do? I buy a bunch of pants.
At Target.
Not realizing.
Or
no.
Old Navy.
No, at Carter's.
Okay.
Like
all
even
right.
like
all
low.
right.
Yeah,
Same,
lower.
Same.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Carter's has a price tag.
I do not
it's not
ever
lower.
buy from Carter's if it's not on sale. If it's not on sale, I'm not touching it. I don't
You
ever.
do know
like,
that if you buy clothes at Target and they outgrow them, you can turn them in.
No.
Yes. If it's within a calendar year, you can turn them in and get the next size up. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, my mind is blown. That's
Yeah.
very helpful. Okay. So
Okay. Continue on.
I'm boggled by that information. Okay, so this is what happens when you are unmedicated and have ADHD. You think you're buying the next size up in pants, and then you're not, and you're buying the exact same pants. So they fit him because they weren't like shrunken by the washer and dryer.
Right.
But they fit him like one time and then they didn't fit him anymore. So of course they'd all been
And they're still like
because,
2 inches off the ground.
Right. So I'm an idiot there. Great. So now someone is, I don't know who, probably somebody in Buy Nothing groups is going to get a whole bunch of, 6-year boy pants, whatever. So I then panic, buy more pants from Target because I'm like, all right, I got to do something and my options are limited. So I'm thinking, let's go the next size up. Well, Target's sizing is different from Carter's sizing because Carter's is specifically for little kids. And yeah. So,
also the way that they make their clothes, Target and Old Navy both, I don't know about Carter's, but they stack the fabric very thick and then they use a machine press to cut them. And so depending on where the fabric is in the stack as to whether or not they'll be like a small size 8 or a large size 8.
Ew.
This is real though. Like any mass produced company is doing this. So that's why sometimes, like, I love New York & Company. I don't even know if it's still a store. It used to be called Learner.
Lunar
like,
New York, yes.
Yeah, but I was like a size 6 in their pants. Well, I was only a size 6 in like some of their pants because that was at the bottom of the stack and they like got stronger. Sorry, go ahead, continue on.
I did not know that, but I'm fascinated by this information. So I buy what I think is the next size up for my son. And it's not. It's like 4 sizes too big. So we go from a child who
exactly
is
the same.
Right. To exactly the same
big.
pants to way too big. Like we put them on him and he's like, they're too big. And I'm like, well, we'll just roll it. We'll roll the waist. No, we can't even do that. They're falling off of him.
We'll roll it.
Listen, I was
like
over it.
You are a middle school cheerleader.
Yeah.
We'll roll it.
Rolling your
Sophie pants.
And what's the other brand that's like popular now? Champion.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, we're just going to roll it. And then he was like, okay. So all these like discounted pants that I bought like during, not Black Friday, but like Cyber Monday sales, none of them fit. So I like thankfully kept the tags on them this time because I was like, forget this. I'm just going to take them all back. I'm going to go back to the store. And because it was like, Cyber Monday sales, some of the stuff was delivered to my house, even though I had placed it for a pickup order. Some of it was unavailable. It was just like a hot mess. So everything was just coming in like over the course of a whole week, just getting stuff to my house. And it was all, children's pants that weren't the right size. So then I was like, forget it. I'm going to take it back. So I took it back to Target. Target has extended holiday hours. It opens at 7 a.m. right now.
7 a.m.
I was there at 7:30. I waited for my child to get on the school bus. I did like morning medicine for animals. And then I got in the car and I went to Target. I was the only person in the store who didn't work there. And it was amazing. It was amazing. And I loved every bit. And I'm like, I didn't like need to immediately turn back around because I had to go pick up a prescription and the pharmacy doesn't open until 8. So I was there at 7:30. I returned my stuff. They had to like get someone from far across the store to come and like be at the return desk. Right. And of course, like, because it was all sale stuff, I got like no money back. And then when I had to go buy the other pants, it was like an extra $75 on top of all that.
Of course.
Anyway, yeah. So after dropping like $300 on kids' pants this fall, like I'm officially over it. But what made it so much better was walking through Target with my coffee by myself in the store. It felt so good. That's like
private shopping. It's like fancy.
Oh, man.
People pay extra money for that.
It was amazing. I was like, this is what it must have been like to be an old person during COVID. Like when they had everything closed and you could go in at like their hours to say like just for old people shopping.
Right.
Felt so good. Felt so good. Highly recommend. 10 stars. Not just 5.
Time for gems.
Do it.
Mine requires no setup.
Okay.
I was on my phone the other day. Abigail wanted to play some video game on my phone. And she goes, aren't you done texting Caitlin?
Ew. No. Are you done texting Caitlin? Because you've done it too.
That was it. Aren't you done texting Caitlin? I'm like, wow. Aren't you done being rude?
I love that you're at an age, or she's at an age where you can say that to her now.
Oh, 100%.
All right. Well, mine is my child singing Brenda Lee's Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree with an inappropriate word inserted. Instead of rocking around.
Oh my gosh.
It's the F word.
Around the Christmas tree. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Love it. I kind of think I might have seen this movie.
Later we'll have some effing pie and we'll do some caroling is the other line that you see.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good job. Yeah. Good job, Mom.
Mm-hmm. I win. I'm so good.
Yep. That's almost as good as my kid coming to me at 5 till 10 and saying, can you help me eat this fun dip? At least in your case, he could have misheard the lyrics.
Or made them up. Yeah.
In mine, I'm just like, yeah, let me get the stick out of the package for you.
If he made it up, he made it up with words that I have taught him. We have taught him.
No. You didn't teach him that. He picked it up.
He picked it up because he's a parrot. Also, fun fact about that song. Brenda Lee, very famous song, Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. She was 13 years old when she recorded that song. And that song...
13?
13. Mm-hmm. That song was released in 1958. It was one of the most popular Christmas songs ever. But she was
I
when she
believe
first
it.
recorded it, she was 13 years old. Crazy.
It was one of my favorite Christmas songs.
Oh, it's still a favorite. It's perfect.
I mean, I do have like a different favorite Christmas song right now, but that's no big deal.
Which one is it?
Are you kidding me?
No.
Which one is it? It's everyone's favorite Christmas song.
Is it Queen Mariah?
Of course it is.
Oh.
I don't want a lot for Christmas. This is all I'm asking for.
Mine's the Wham one. You know that game that people play where it's like, I'm out? All they say is I'm out, and it's because they heard that song. You're not supposed to hear it the whole Christmas season. And then if you hear it, then yeah. So like you have to like actively work to avoid that song. And then if someone plays it, then you just like on social media, I'm out.
Okay.
That's all you have to say.
So does it count if a couple of 6th grade girls are singing it while they're coming up with choreography to it?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Then I guess I'm
if people
out.
sing it, then it counts. Yep. But I love that one. That's one of my favorites.
So here is my challenge to you. Name another Wham song.
Oh my God. Wake Me Up Before You Go Go. Yeah?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Wake me up before you go.
You know, he was like extremely generous and gave away a ton of his money to people posthumously. It was super. He was like a really, really nice man. George Michael was. Rest in peace, George Michael. We love you.
Wait, he's dead?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Did you really not know? Yeah, I'm
No.
for real. He died like a while ago, a few years ago.
Oh.
And that's how we all like, it was like this thing that his will got released and like all of these people, he gave away a ton of his money to a bunch of people. We still don't even know where it all went, but he gave it a ton of it away.
Oh my God, I did not know he was dead. I'm like dealing with this right now.
I know, it's hard.
I don't want your freedom.
I can't help but hear Zoolander or see Zoolander stuff in my head right now. Because the first thing that happened when you said name a song, I was like, jitterbug.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
George Michael is dead? And
Dead
I'm
for,
like way
years.
Yeah, and I'm like way behind the power curve on that. Okay, so
For
as
years.
long as we're talking about things that happened a long time ago,
Yeah, do it.
I actually have a BuzzFeed article for us because, you know, in December, we talked about this, Caitlin, and we said like, oh, what can we do to really like lighten the mood a little bit and do a little less research? And while there will be an episode coming out all about orthodontics, which I will tell you the story about my daughter needing them, right now, it's just about levity. It's just about giving you something to listen to while you're out running your errands and trying to get your holiday life together.
In Target by yourself.
And Target by yourself. So last week we read a BuzzFeed article that you found about weird in-laws.
Yeah,
interesting
celebrities who were related
Celebrity
that you didn't
in-laws.
know. Celebrities, I said. Good Lord. It's like I don't talk for a living. For a living. I do this for free.
Yeah, not for
I
a
lose
living,
money
honey.
on this.
Do not pretend that you are making money on this.
No, I lose
Okay.
money on this.
All right, so
So is it it's a we read BuzzFeed day?
yes, it's another We Read BuzzFeed. So my article is called Smoking Everywhere, Bringing Hints to Bars, and 32 Other Things That Used to Be Normal But Wouldn't Fly Today. And it is by Alice Lakota. And all I can think of is Camp Lakota from Full House. Lakota, Lakota, we love Camp Lakota. The camp that we love is Lakota, Lakota,
Oh my
Lakota.
gosh.
Okay, why do I know that? I don't know, but it's in my head.
Because you
and
have
it
a
came out.
problem with Full House.
Oh, I absolutely do. But I watched when I was a kid. Like it went into my brain. Like that, I should
Yeah.
have been studying a foreign language at that point.
Okay, so is this going to be like bingo? Like when we played bingo and it was
Yes,
like all these,
this
like
is
what are these things that you've done?
definitely- Yes, this is a throwback to bingo. Now, there are 34 different items on this list. Am I going to read all 34? No. Are you as a listener? Absolutely. We're going to link it in the show notes, and you can go find this article yourself. Shout out to Alice Lakota. You're going to get a bunch of reads from us. Okay.
Maybe.
Perhaps. Like maybe 4. Okay, anyway, here we go. The first one is about cassette tapes. That's the little played, right? Like we've all seen these nostalgia posts about cassette tapes. I'm moving on.
Yeah, and
Okay,
like making
now-
sure you recorded songs that you really, really, really wanted to.
Yeah. And the pencil
hear.
thing and like, yes, we all live there. We're moving on. Okay.
Yeah.
The second one I thought was hilarious. Using a set of 20-year-old encyclopedias for a reference for homework.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Okay. If you are of the pre-internet generation and you ever had to write a report on anything, you straight up copied it out of the encyclopedia that either you had or you went to the library to copy. I turned in a report on mollusks that I'm telling you is like the greatest example of
Plagiarism?
Yes, I was going to say scholastic. What do they call that? Dishonesty, plagiarism in the history of the world. But it was in the shape of a clamshell, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, mollusks. Oh, I get it now. Okay.
But it was me straight up copying from the Encyclopedia Britannica that my parents bought from a door-to-door salesman.
And then when you had AOL, it came on a disc, or you'd use Encarta.
Encarta. Oh, leveling up.
Yeah. Yeah. That was when you
Okay.
felt big time.
Right. Okay. There's a quote about quicksand. We have seen these memes. Like, oh, I really worried about quicksand a lot more than I should have. Okay. Moving on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Here's one that I think is hilarious.
Okay.
I used to memorize phone numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Not only did I used to memorize phone numbers, but I can still tell you my childhood phone numbers.
Yes, me too.
2586183.
Oh my God. 867
75309. You know, that's the song Bill Nye sang to me. When I met him in real life, he was like, oh, Jenny. He says, Jenny, Jenny, who can I turn to? And I looked at him and I said, you give me something I can hold on to. And then he sang the song and then he grabbed my thigh.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing. That is a very special Bill Nye connection.
This is what I'm saying.
But yes, I did memorize phone numbers, and it was like a thing. Like my mom would make sure that I knew my phone number, and I'd have to like recite it in the car.
Yes. And you had all your friends' phone numbers memorized and your crush's phone number memorized. Now, I can't even tell you the phone number to my job.
Nope.
No. I work there every day. And I'm like, I don't know. I'll have to look it up online. Now, there is a post here about phone books. I will also tell you that phone books have like kind of played. They're in all of these memes. Like, yes, phone books were a thing. However, the quote that goes with phone books, I think is worth mentioning.
Okay.
I remember my elementary school had an entire assembly where strong men ripped phone books in half. Okay. I have never had this assembly. Caitlin, did you ever have this assembly?
No. What?
No, but I will tell you, my husband who went to Christian schools, and you already know, if you're a listener, you know that I'm a person of faith, right? I am not making fun of the Christian religion, but I am going to say something. And I've taught at a Christian school, as have you, Caitlin.
Yes.
But I'm going to tell you this. My husband told me that when he was a kid at Christian school, they had guest speakers who, quote, ripped phone books for Jesus.
I don't mean to be
Yeah.
like rude, but also what?
And when he told me this is when we were first dating. This is like 10 years ago. He told me this. And I was like, excuse me, what?
Ripped
He's like, yeah. He was like,
phone
these guys
books
came to our school and they
for
did a
Jesus.
Yeah. It's like they did this whole assembly and it was basically like, it was a sermon, but these strong men like ripped phone books for Jesus.
How does I don't understand
I
that
know.
connection. I don't see how they go together.
But
I
apparently they did. And the school paid money for those people to come to their school. Okay. Everyone smoked everywhere. If you are over the age of 35, you remember a time where there was smoking and non, and like the hostess would ask
in
you,
restaurants,
you
yeah.
might actually remember a time where there was smoking and non on airplanes.
Oh.
You might remember ashtrays in your cars.
Yeah, I remember ashtrays on airplanes, like right in the armrest thing, and being like, "Why is this even here?" And then my mom would go because people would smoke on, and it wasn't like that long before you and I were born that those were
Right, that was like a thing.
stopped.
Yeah, no. Candy cigarettes. I remember candy cigarettes.
Those.
And they were red on the tips to where it looked like it was lit. Now, kids still have this, but it's called candy sticks. And it definitely does not have a painted on filter or a lit end.
No, and if you didn't you used to be able to like blow it and then like some of the dust would come out?
We definitely had ones like that.
Yeah.
And I remember
Holy.
when I was teaching, so this is like several years after candy cigarettes were a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember a kid made a fake cigarette.
Oh.
And another student, God bless his soul, like what a wonderful kid this was. He looked at me and said, "Don't you pretend smoke. You might get pretend cancer."
I love that. That's amazing.
Right?
How many dumb things did you and your friends try to smoke? Because I didn't do this personally, but I remember the day that my friend tried to smoke wax paper.
What?
She rolled it up into
No, she didn't.
Yeah, she did it into a Mary Jane cigarette, and then like lit the end of it, and then did like that on it, and it instantly was like,
Yeah,
it sucked up all the way, and she singed her eyelashes.
Yeah, of
off.
course she did. Like she burned her lips.
Yeah, it was like it was the morning before school, and like her mascara like melted together.
Oh my God. I had a friend who rolled up baby powder, and if you blowed, the baby powder would like
Go
make
out.
a cloud of smoke. But
Well,
she
yeah.
inhaled and, of course, had a mouthful of baby powder, which is not pleasant for anyone.
That's like the cinnamon
Hopefully, she never
challenge.
learned. Hopefully, she never smoked because she was like, "Oh, this is really unpleasant."
Oh, when I had like a semester of cigarette smoking, and it was so stupid and so bad.
Yeah. Let me
Never
just
again.
say this: like the last words my grandfather said on his deathbed. I'm not even kidding you. The last words he spoke were, "Don't ever smoke." He died
Interesting.
from
He died
smoking
from that.
related issues. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a thing. Like my
And he
grandfather
was
smoked for a long time too.
Yeah, he was prescribed cigarettes in the 60s for his allergies.
You remember in Dazed and Confused, which is like, I always feel like I mentioned this movie, but there's that scene in the liquor store, and there's a pregnant lady who's buying a big bottle of liquor, and she's got a cigarette in her mouth, and he's like, "Eat a green thing every day."
Yeah.
But she's got a giant bottle of liquor and a cigarette in her hand. So
Yep.
funny. Yep. That was the thing.
That was it. All right.
Yep.
So another one of these things that used to be normal was printing out directions from MapQuest. Now, I am telling you, I am older than that.
Me too.
I am unfold the Rand McNally and count the miles between exits and look as navigator at the driver and say, okay, we have 57 miles until the next exit.
Gosh. I didn't do that because I didn't drive that much, but I did do the print the MapQuest thing, and I always got annoyed because there was like no way to skip your neighborhood. And this is like back when you were super careful about like how much you printed, because you like, I don't have ink for this.
I don't have ink.
So you'd be like, can I just cut off? I'm pretty sure I know how to get out of my own neighborhood. Like, can you please just start at number 5?
Right. No, my dad and I have driven across country multiple times. Somehow, and I'm not saying it's better, but I kind of am. My mom always took my brother and sister on a plane to wherever we were going. Not saying that flying with 2 kids is easier, but
No.
my dad and I would drive cross country with the pets wherever we
Oh.
were going.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So, and I'm 5 years older than my brother and 6 years older than my sister. So like it makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so he and I would make the road trip with the pets and whatever like had to be in the house immediately. And then my mom and my brother and sister would fly. And so I got really adept at reading maps, but I can tell you that I have gone through and counted, okay, 7, 14, 3, 11, and count the miles between exits and say, okay, we're going to make it to an intersection between a state highway and a interstate in about 63 miles. And when we get there, there'll probably be a Motel 8 and they take pets.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Nope. Done that. And my dad, because he is my dad and I love him dearly, but he cannot go to bed without a meal. So we would find a scuzzy motel that takes pets. And then we would have to find an IHOP or Denny's or whatever that's open at 2 or 3 a.m. so that he could
only
have a meal.
IHOP or Denny's. Yeah.
Right. Or Hojo. Ate at a lot of Howard Johnson's.
That's regional. Like, that's not something that I've ever been to.
Shoney's. Been to a lot of Shoney's.
Also regional that I don't know that one. How funny.
Randomly knocking on your friends' doors to see if they were home and they wanted to play.
Oh my gosh.
Did you ever do that?
Yeah, I did do that actually. Didn't do it when I was younger, like when I was growing up in San Francisco, but when I moved to Colorado and we were in a neighborhood, yes, I did do that.
Me too. Are you ready to like have your heart hurt a little bit? Because this one's not so happy.
Oh no. Okay, yeah.
This quote says, "We used to see thousands of monarch butterflies and bees during the summer, and now my wife and I get excited when we see one in the backyard."
And this is a big state for butterflies too. Like Texas, I mean, not to get all nerdy on y'all, but the state insect of Texas is the monarch butterfly, says the Texas history teacher.
When it's migrating season and like you see them in October, you see a bunch, and actually you kill a bunch with your car. And I don't know about you, Caitlin, but like I feel like gross in my stomach.
Oh,
when
horribly
I hit them.
guilty. Mm-hmm, horribly.
Oh my God, I'm
guilty.
killing
I haven't.
pollinators.
Yeah, I know. I haven't done that much recently. The bees thing also really hurts me. You know how much I love bees, and I don't. Yeah, but that one makes me sad.
It's right. Like I used to see them all the time, and now like it does pique my interest when I see them.
Yeah.
Okay. This next one sends me right back to my neighborhood when I was in like 5th, 6th, and 7th grade.
Okay. I'm ready.
It says, "Bike jumps. The neighborhood I grew up in had a vacant lot that we turned into a dirt track with jumps. Kids would voluntarily mow the grass, repair the damage, and pick up litter. There's no evidence of the old dirt ramps or track left."
Wow.
Okay, I don't know about you, but I also had a vacant lot in my neighborhood. The development must have like not bought a spot
in the middle or something.
Yeah, right. Because we were developed into a neighborhood like in a C, the letter C.
Yeah.
And in the center was this big field that never got developed while I lived there. I'm sure it's a mini mart now. But people would train their dogs there, and you would see dogs off leash. But there was one spot where we built a giant hill and a racetrack, and we all rode our bikes, and we'd jump off the hill. People would lay down on the hill and like jump over each other. And
oh my gosh.
Yeah. And I am like, shout out to Michelle Fashoni. Like we used to do that all the time.
Wow. See, my neighborhood didn't really have that sort of thing, but I just remember like being on bikes and tearing through the neighborhood all summer long. Summer long.
Like that's what you did. You got up, you got on your bike, and then you came home for dinner.
Right.
And then maybe you got back on your bike.
And then you probably got back out. Yeah.
Yeah. Because the sun didn't go down till 9. All right. This one cracks me up. Just walking right into the airport terminal.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
2 stories about this, both very short. First is when we lived in Japan, one of my favorite restaurants was the cafe in the terminal lounge.
Nice. That must have been really good food.
Because we got to eat and watch the planes come in, and I thought that was cool. Number 2, I remember one time my dad and I making a road trip and trying to get to the gate before my mom and my brother got off the plane. We parked and we ran to their gate.
Yeah.
There was no security.
No.
There was no nothing.
Go and drop people off at the gate.
We just ran to the gate.
Yeah. There's that whole thing on Friends when Chandler's trying to get away from Janice and he tells her he's moving to Yemen.
Yeah.
And she walks him she like packs him and walks him to the gate and all that stuff. And then she's like, I want to watch you take off. And it's because she could go right up to the gate. Like I remember that distinctly being greeted by people at the gate and being like when I moved to Colorado from San Francisco, I flew by myself. So
did you really?
My grandparents came out to San Francisco. They took my brother and my sister. And then my so I have 3 sisters who are all littler than me. My brother's littler than me too. And so my brother and sister were the closest in age and the next oldest went to Denver with my grandparents. Like my grandparents took them on the plane. And then my sister Molly was a baby. So she stayed with my mom. And I stayed in San Francisco to finish out the school year. Mm-hmm. And then I moved to Colorado from California by myself. So my mom like put my boombox in a bag because that was like the thing that I had to have with me. It was in like a duffel. And then I had my suitcase. And then I had my backpack. And then she put me on the plane. I was like 10 years old. She put me on the plane
Right.
and they just made sure I could fly by myself. It was weird. It was like, and I remember asking the little girl, like there was a little girl sitting next to me. They made sure to put me next to another little girl so I could have someone to talk to. And then I asked her like what channel NBC was or something like that. It was something stupid, but I remember like having that conversation about how different it was. But my mom walked me right up to the gate, made sure that I got on the plane, made sure everything was fine, waved goodbye. And then when I got to Colorado, my grandparents picked me up at the gate right there. So it was like the weirdest, so strange that you could do that. So
when
strange.
we flew from the States to Japan, my uncle, my mom's brother, met us at the airport terminal and helped us load the plane.
Yeah.
They got
insane.
on with us
and
helped
like,
us put our baggage away.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, I remember that.
the flight attendant, who at that point was called a stewardess,
Yep.
said, "Okay, you need to go." And he was like, "Oh, don't worry, I don't go to island nation." And I'm like, man, you just like wrote off a lot of vacation spots.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Also, like, rude. Like, rude.
I mean, it's fine. Like, more space for me in New Zealand, but
And I mean, I guess if you're sending your kid on a plane by themselves, you could probably still take them to the gate. Like, I'm sure that's a thing. But
absolutely. But as far as like meeting your family or me and my dad
family
with a dog running through the airport to meet my mom and my brother and sister at the gate,
not happening.
No way. No way. And I'm pretty sure it was the two of us with our dog and our cat in a carrier, and we're running through the airport.
That poor cat must have been like all sloshed.
Oh, no. That cat, okay, first off, that cat was a champ. She lived like 20 years.
Oh.
Her name was Neko, which is the Japanese word for cat, so not really creative. But
I like it.
yeah. But the first day of that road trip, we gave her ketamine, and she definitely went down the K-hole, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes, I do.
She was like clawing at the
It was like what's that movie
case.
where I'm picturing like Johnny Depp being what's his name at Circus.
Yes.
Fear and Loathing. In Fear
Yes.
and Loathing. That's what I'm picturing as like a cat.
Yeah,
Totally
she
losing her
definitely
mind.
did not have a good trip. And so
man, poor
the
baby.
second day, she was super quiet in the cat box. And for the rest of the time that we were on that trip, she like went in the cat box, no problem. This is the trip where she needed to be bathed. And my dad in a Motel 6, because again, we're looking for motels at 2 or 3 a.m. Because my dad is a believer in get as much out of the day as you can. So he will drive until 3 a.m., find the IHOP, eat, and then get up at 6 the next morning and drive. He tried to bathe the cat. Yes. He tried to bathe the cat in a motel shower.
Did he get scratched a bit?
Oh my God.
Like,
he came out and he's bleeding everywhere.
oh yeah, I'm sure he was.
And the cat is miserable. And he's like, so it didn't go so well.
You don't say.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Because normally our routine for bathing a cat, if they ever need it, because most of the time cats don't need a bath.
No, I've bathed the cat like twice.
Walk them in the shower and let them decide, like, are you going to get in the water or are you not? If you're not going to get in the water, clean yourself up. Like, whatever, figure it out. But this cat had a bad trip, had released a lot of things into the box. Yeah. And so he bathed her in a Motel 6 and came out, and he's just covered in scratches. He's bleeding everywhere. And I was like, oh, I guess that didn't go so well. Okay. The next one was reading the TV guide. And I'm telling you, like, we all read the TV guide. Okay.
Mr.
Or you had the TV guide trainer.
Yep.
Yes. But I'm telling you, the thing that is making this stick out and the reason I'm reading it out loud is the picture is of the wild and crazy guys
Oh, hilarious.
of Dan Aykroyd and Steve Martin. And I am dying.
Oh my goodness. Also, is there any mention of like when the TV would scroll and you'd have to catch the TV guide? Like
yes. You want to see something on channel 37 and then you blinked and you missed it and you have to wait 3 more minutes until it comes all the way around.
Oh, so annoying.
And I don't know about your TV guide channel, but mine also played movies. So it would go through all the channels. And then after it got to channel 99 or whatever, it would then play movie previews. So you had to wait before it got back to channel 2 and went through again.
So here's something fun. I didn't have cable growing up at all. So I was just
You
watching my
poor,
TV.
deprived child.
I know. Over the air, getting all my celebrity gossip from Lizzo Gibbons or whatever her name was on Entertainment Tonight. And John Tesh or whatever. Was it John Tesh? He also had a music album.
Yes.
Yeah. That's how, yeah. I was getting all the celebrity gossip because we watched it over the air. So I didn't actually have a TV guide channel because it would like click as you as you scrolled from channel to channel. But when I would go to friends' houses, it would be like scrolling through the TV guide channel. It's so annoying. Ugh.
All right. The next one that I need to highlight is wood panel walls, which we did not have, and water beds, which we did not have. But I had a friend named Amber who did have a waterbed, and I always wanted to stay over at her house and sleep in her waterbed.
I wanted to be on a waterbed so bad. We did not have wood panel walls, but I want you to picture Clark Griswold with the wood paneling on the station wagon, because my dad had a Dodge Caravan.
Nice.
That was like champagne colored with wood paneling striped down the side, and I hated that van more than I could ever say. And then one time it got stolen, and I was like secretly relieved that it got stolen because I didn't have to be in it. And then my sister's best friend sees the car and goes, "That looks like the Moran's car," and it was the Moran's car.
No.
Yes, and the ignition had been ripped out. So how did my dad start the car? With a screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver. He put the screwdriver in the ignition and then cranked it. And he's like, "Oh, can't forget my keys." And it would just be like a screwdriver for a little while. And he got it replaced eventually. But oh my God, I hated that wood paneling so bad.
All right. So the last one was there
Derailed.
used to be litter everywhere. Do you remember this? Like, there used to be trash on the side of the highway.
Yeah.
It used to be a thing to like go pick up trash.
Yeah.
It used to be like, "Oh, we're going to go do a park cleanup," and you would fill 30 or 40 bags. It's not a thing anymore. And congrats.
That's a good thing.
Like, thank you, citizens of Earth, for realizing that,
Trash everywhere is disgusting.
yeah, that's not how you do this.
That's a crazy one.
Yeah, I like ending on that note. I like saying, like, hey, the world doesn't suck anymore when it comes to trash on the highway in the United States.
In my Dwight voice, that's debatable. They're basically two schools of thought. Well, thank you for helping me relive my childhood. I think I needed that. And yeah, guys, it's the holiday season, and what we would really, really, really love for the holidays, you could do a couple different things. You could join our Patreon. That would be a very lovely gift. That would be beyond.
Think about it. You're giving to
generous.
charity.
Your sad, privileged friends.
Middle income married moms who
cis
live in houses that are taken care of, and so super privileged with good jobs that pay the bills.
But at the same time, podcasting ain't free. So if you really would like to continue to support us, we would love it if you would join our Patreon. But if you don't want to do that, that's okay too. There are tons of ways to support us for free. You can rate, you can review, you can subscribe. All of those things are lovely. All I want for Christmas is a rating. How's that?
All I want for Christmas is 5 stars.
I wondered how you were going to make that work.
I wasn't.
I'm still kind of wondering.
Nope. Can't make stuff work. You know that about me.
Oh, yes.
I always think of Tim Gunn. Make it work. Or pretend that it does work in your world.
There you go. I like that one.
Okay.
All right.
And I'm going to tell you this.
Yeah.
Fun dip is more fun after midnight. And make good choices.
And use gift cards to buy gifts and walk down memory lane in Target. I don't know. That's a bad one. Just bye. Bye.
Hey friends, thanks for listening to the CK and GK podcast. Find us at CK and GK podcast on Instagram and Twitter, and rate, review, and subscribe. on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Good Pods, or anywhere else that you pod. See you next time.